Hi, this is Rachelle with Scrapcraftastic. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to use the new template that I have for a standard or regular size pocket folder for a traveler's notebook. I had a lot of people asking about this, and the problem I had with making an actual template was the size of paper that you needed. But I went ahead and did it, and I think I have a solution for the paper size issue. The template uses one 8.5 by 11, and I'll show you that here. And it uses one 8.5 by 14. You need that length for the flap that folds up to make the pocket. So I'll show you that here. So I know most people don't have legal paper 8.5 by 14. So what I'm going to do is show you real quick how to modify an 8.5 by 11 sheet and convert it to a legal size 8.5 by 14. If you are worried about problems with your printer, and I don't suggest you do this, you probably come out better just going to an office supply store and buying paper. But I'm okay with running this setup through my printer. Again, it's up to you. You don't have to do it this way. So I'm just giving you that warning, because there could be, it depends on how sensitive your printer is, you could have paper jamming. So let's go ahead and get started. So I have two 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper. We're going to use this as our starting point. This is really simple. I mean, you could do it with basic tools, but I have a cut board, so I'm going to use a paper trimmer for it. We already know this paper is 11 inches long. We need a 14-inch long piece of paper. So we need to add 3 more inches. So I'm just going to take this other piece and trim off 3 inches. Then use whatever tape you feel comfortable with using to tape that to, what is on my paper? To tape that to the bottom of the page. And I just have some Scotch tape or clear tape from Dollar Tree. It comes in a pack of 8 or 10. And I'm just going to tape these two together. Try to get them as close together as possible, butted up against each other. I don't know what was on my desk, but we'll have to live with that. And that one automatically wrapped around. I would suggest cutting off any excess on the edges and getting rid of that. And basically that is it. Now, if you know what side of the paper your printer prints on when you put it into the printer, I would make sure that the tape side ends up on the back. I think if you use washi tape, it probably doesn't even matter, because washi tape will print. You can print on washi tape as far as I know. I just think that the ink would probably smear on this clear tape. So I'll just try to make sure that it is on the back. So I'm going to go ahead and run this through the printer and print the template on it, and I'll be right back. Okay, and here is how the template turns out once it's printed. So you see it prints through the printer, no problem. Well, through my printer, no problem. I just need to print the inside pocket, but we're going to work with just this page for now. When you print, make sure you adjust the paper size in the print dialog box to legal 8.5 by 14, and also always with any other files from Scrapcraftastic that you use, make sure that you the setting is for actual size, not fit to page. Okay, so to use this template, basically you need to cut out this main shape. These are just the keys to show you how to fold, where to fold, and cut. So, and when you make your template, it's best to use a good quality paper. That makes life a lot easier when you're trying to trace this, and also it, believe it or not, is easier to cut when you have a heavier weight paper. And of course you can use a blade if you feel comfortable with using a paper trimmer for this. You could do that. But to me it's just faster to cut it with the scissors. Okay. Oh, need to cut out this little section. Okay, so there you have your template. Let's put these aside, we don't need that. And so I'll go ahead and cut out the inside pocket folder. Okay, for the inside pocket, I went ahead and left that on 8.5 by 11, but you probably need to use borderless printing or it will not print all the lines on this left and right side. So keep that in mind when you're printing. And again, this is the inside pocket. And you could fold this in half. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it out this way. Okay, so these are the two pieces you will need for your template. How you put this together is you will have your 12 by 12 sheet, and just go ahead and fold this in half. If you have a score board and you want to do the score would be at 6 inches down the middle, or you can just do like I'm doing and just fold the paper in half. And I am going to use my score tool or bone folder to give myself a nice crease. Okay, so now that we have that done, this is going to be the outside of your folder. This will be the inside where the pocket goes. You just take the template, place it on the edge where the fold is. So this edge here, not the edge with the notch cut out, but the straight edge goes against the edge, the folded edge of your actual paper. And you take a pencil or whatever writing utensil you choose and trace out the template. And these will be your cut lines. This is another reason why it's good to have a nice thick weight paper that you print your template on. You might, if you're going to be making multiples, you might even print on cardstock. So I don't know if you can see those lines, but I've outlined it, and basically I'm just going to cut here and the portion that needs to be cut on the other side, and that's it for that part of the cutting. And just make sure that your paper is together well and not crooked like this when you're cutting. And that again is all in making sure you crease it well. If you need to, you could probably even put a piece of washi tape along the edge to hold it together if you don't feel confident about it. Okay, so that is it for the cutting. So this is what we have. Now, you can fold these by hand. You can use your ruler to help fold the flaps up. You can use your scoreboard. I'm going to use the scoreboard for this part of it because to me you get a nice crisp score. Oops. So each of these flaps should be at 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to score at a 1/2 inch. Can I flip it around and do that? I'm going to try 1/2 inch. And then this part will be at 8 1/4 inch. So you turn it with the top to the left, the pockets to the right, and score at 8.25 or 8 1/4. And I really should have scored on the other side, but what's done is done. So I'm just gonna fold the pockets up, fold my flaps over. Make sure everything lines up nicely. Give it a good burnish. Okay, now set that aside. We can cut the inside piece, and to make this faster, I'm going to do this folded. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold the template in half. Burnish that. I'm going to go with the darker pink. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fold our paper this way. The cardstock. And burnish the edge. We can place our template plate either around it, which might be easier, and put it on that bottom edge, so all you have to do is cut the top and one side. And for this, I'm going to use the paper trimmer. I'm going to take a chance. So I'm just marking where I need to cut. And let's see what happens. Since I'm going to do a double cut, I'm going to use this trimmer so that I don't ruin the blade on the other one. So I'm just going to line up my marks that I made. Hope that came out right. Then, oops, I forgot to put my circles on there. Let's go back and do that. And you can actually do any shape for this. I think on the one that I did manually, I just used like a triangle angled cut. But if you have a half circle punch, you could just use a punch for this. I mean, if you have a circle punch, you could just use that for it instead of trying to cut it by hand. It's not great. I'm just gonna roll with it like it is. Okay, so now you would take this piece, if you want the double pocket, and slide it in. I like to do the double pocket because it not only gives you a little more storage space, but it gives you a little more color instead of just the plain white inside. And make sure everything folds and fits together nicely. And it does. So while making sure everything is lined up well, take your glue of choice. Let's see, what do I want to use? I'm going to use this art glitter glue. I like this because if it seeps out, it doesn't leave that shiny glue around the edge. I'm not a hot glue kind of girl, so I don't use that often. So let's just go with the art glitter glue. I made sure everything was lined up in there properly. Just gonna fold that over, hold it for a sec. Paper towel, get any seepage. Okay. Oops. Probably that's too much. And you want to make sure everything folds well. If the inside piece is too big, it will pucker up. So you can trim from the edges to make it sit down in there. So when you fold it over, it's not pressing up against that paper, making it butt out. So, I mean, that just makes it look cleaner and well put together. That is it. So now you have a manual template. Go ahead and burnish everything together. You have a manual template for a regular or standard size traveler's notebook pocket folder. And I guess soon I'll be coming up with templates for wide folders so that you can put more notebooks in them. But here it is. This is what we've got. You can put whatever you like in your pockets. As you can see, fits down in there. Fits down in there. Here's my traveler's notebook. It's Webster's pages. And I think I've used everything, all my strings, but let's see, we can wrap it around this notebook. And there you have it. Pocket folder insert. It's pretty simple to put together. The template will be available on my website in the shop at scrapcraftastic.com. Please comment below if you have any questions or comments. And thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.